フロントウィング。グリザイアの果実。
Hello everybody, Hope you're all doing well. Alright, so time for some more Grisaia. Is my chair falling again? No. Lovely. Alright. So it's been a little bit since we played this, but no. Wait, what am I doing here? I gotta fix that. I just realized my camera's in the wrong spot, like on screen. Grisaia, we can have it up here. That's right, that's right, that's right. Camera's all over the damn place now. So, good old Grisaia. We're still on Sachi's route. And are in the process of doing and planning something that'll make a standardized test go away. Yeah. Someone brought it up. Thought she was initially hesitant to even reply to even a mock request, like it was a joking one. But then Yuji's just like, yeah, actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's get rid of it. And we're helping. We've pulled in favors from Tachibana, Chizuru the principal, and also JB. But we're also planning to have it fail or something? I don't... We're doing something. They're using a lot of code words for things. Which, right now I'm kind of guessing might be explosives, which is kind of terrifying. So we're gonna see where that goes. And just... hope it all goes well. It doesn't quite literally blow up in our faces. So we're loading up our save, and so we'll just continue on from here. Yeah. Even as she broods getting rid of the test, Sachi's consistently maintaining a routine of cleaning my room and doing my laundry. Speaking of, I'm gonna have to do that after this. Or maybe I'll just sneak in a little break so I can throw it all in. I guess I should be happy as a boyfriend that she places such a high priority on taking care of me. But no matter how used she is to doing these sorts of chores, it's obvious that keeping up the daily grind is going to be hard on her under the circumstances. And I can't allow myself to step in to help right now. It's a mixed feeling. As I'm mulling things over, my cell phone bleats shrilly in my pocket. No need to bother looking at the screen. I know who this call's from. That you, JB?
Ohayo, Yuji. Sachi no yousu wa dou?
Seems she hasn't figured out an effective plan yet. Currently absorbed in brainstorming. So? What can I do for you?
Ah, そうそう。東浜電鉄グループに関してなんだけど、なかなか興味深いことが分かったわ。
Think we can use it?
確証を得るにはもう少し時間が必要だけど、おそらくは。
Good to hear.
詳細はメールで送るから、目を通しておいてちょうだい。
Roger.
それと、もう一つ頼まれていたものも、もうすぐ用意できそうなんだけど、ついでにスープに入れる野菜を育てるために必要なものも、こっちで手配させてもらったわ。
Oh hell, I feel like this is explosives. I was planning to take care of that myself, you know. I didn't want to push everything off on you.
一度手を貸すと決めたら手間は同じよ。実際マウスを操作する回数が少し増えるくらいの差なんだしね。
Alright, whatever you say. Thanks.
え、品物はもうすぐそっちに届くと思うから受け取りよろしくね。
Right. And within an hour of that phone call, a truck bearing JB's gift makes its way through the school gates.
じゃあっす。富士見運送っすけど、あなたが受け取り人の風見さんっすか？
Yeah, I'm Kazumi.
荷物結構な量があるんすけど、どうします？倉庫とかがあるんだったらそこまで運んじゃいましょうか？
That's fine. Just unload everything here and I'll take care of the rest.
了解っす。しゃした！
When all the goods are finally out of the truck, the delivery man leaves with a cheerful frat boy style farewell. Guess I better get these inside before the others notice. Well, so much for that plan. Too late. Well, might have been inevitable, given how rare it is to see a vehicle of any kind actually inside our campus. It's not like I've got anything I can't let them see, so I guess it shouldn't really be a problem.
あんた、トラックなんか呼び込んで一体何を買ってくさ何か面白いことをするつもりなら私も混ぜてほしいのよってくさ
What did we get?
それでこれは何に使うのかしら
Word of advice, Sakaki? Pinching your nose disdainfully while you speak isn't exactly gonna help you win friends and influence people.
だってすごい匂いを放っているわよそれ
Of course it is. That's sort of how this stuff is.
これって農作物に使う肥料でしょ
Wait, actual manure for like actual vegetables? What the fuck?
肥料
No. No, I am not.
ならどうして肥料なんて
Our thoughtful principal noticed Sachi's been looking busy lately. Decided to compensate by roping me into a temporary position as a volunteer gardener. Figured I'd start off with the fundamentals and enrich the soil a bit.
だからってこんなに買い込んでどうするのよ
First part of the job is laying down some flower beds along the outer periphery of the athletic grounds. Somewhere down the line, I'm looking to spread the flower-filled exercise concept through Mishima Cape as a whole. Okay then. You're talking out your ass again. Playing with dirt's good stuff, you know? Gardening's a pretty solid workout, and it's got a well-documented relaxing effect as well. Amane's not entirely buying this, is she? Sharp girl.
じゃあ何か手伝えることがあったら言ってよ私トラクターとかも運転できるから
What?
私何か変なこと言った
Not really. But motorcycles, trucks, and now tractors? Is there anything you can't drive?
まあね免許を持ってなくてもタイヤがついてる乗り物なら大体転がせるかな
I see.
私に花いっぱい運動は無理ね。サボテンからしちゃうくらいだし。
私もどちらかといえば収穫されたものを食べる方が好きなのよ。
それなら作業が残ってる有事の邪魔にならないように私たちは部屋に戻りますか。さっきスーパーでアイス買ってきたからみんなで食べようよ。私を誘うってことは当然抹茶味のアイスも用意してあるんでしょうね。
マンダリンオレンジも。
少しいいか
Oh
しら。
god, I hit way too much at once. No, I don't want to do that.
テキストの設定をします。
God damn it. Let's see, there's gotta be a way to see what the hell they all said. I did not expect that. God damn it. Advanced game dialogue. That's annoying. I should change that actually. What is spacebar though again? Hide message window. What was control? That's what I hit. Skip text while held down. Wonderful. Because my keyboard is even lower than normal, that's what happened. Ugh, I'm not used to resting it all the way down below. I'm used to having it right on top my actual desktop and not in the rolling spot you normally put a keyboard. Display dialogue history window. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so tab. Let's see what they said. Get out of this. And that's yeah, Mandarin orange. Both are on tabs with little girls and head on inside. Deftly wrapping up the conversation, the big sister of the group coaxes the two troubled children back into the dorm. Okay. Amane might not have bought my story, but I think she's got the general idea that I'm taking action for Sachi's sake. This is probably her way of being considerate. Alright, now we're back on track. Okay, so, alright, Amane figured something was up, and it's just like, alright, yeah, we'll just stay out of the way. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, while I've... let's change this. Oh, I can't change it. This is literally just saying, this is what they do. Got a problem with that? You do? Well, nothing we can do about it. Kind of annoying, but oh well. Just gotta be careful. What's up? Don't you want to get some of that ice cream?
風見くんが私の質問に素直に答えてくれればアイスにも間に合うでしょうね。
What do you want to know?
実は小峰さんから風見くんが出した課題の内容について聞いたのだけれど。
Ah.
思ったより驚かないのね。
I know how much you people love sticking your nose into others' business. I was more or less expecting something of the sort.
それなら話が早いのだけれど、テストをなくすという依頼を達成することで風見くんの出した課題の答えも見つかると考えていいのかしら。
I wouldn't have gone out of my way to reopen old wounds if I thought otherwise.
そう。それなら定例会議はもう必要なさそうね。
Regular meetings?
うん、ごめんなさい。こちらの話よ。
I guess this petty secrecy is her way of getting payback for the other day.
それじゃ、土いじり頑張ってちょうだい。
Also, let me know how I'm sounding, by the way. If I'm too low, cutting out all that, I can try and rework where I have my mic. In any case, it's nice that they're being relatively cooperative. In the pitch-black hallway, the only sound is the echoing of my own footsteps. After waiting until my classmates were soundly asleep, I slipped my way out of the dorm to infiltrate the abandoned school building. With a recent construction like this, it's definitely gonna take some time to get things ready. To be honest, without Chizuru's cooperation, I doubt I could have gotten anywhere. And even now, it won't be easy. That said, failure simply isn't an option. After pushing Sachi that hard, I damn well better give my part everything I've got. Getting close to 4 in the morning. Another hour, and we're getting dangerously close to Sachi or Ramane waking up. Just to be on the safe side, I guess I'll call it a night. That room. From the school hallway, I noticed a single light still on in the dormitory. And when I quietly look inside a few minutes later, I find Sachi crouched intently over her desk. She must have been up all night working. Her normally neat desk is cluttered with books, magazines, paper, everything from documents concerning modern architectural designs to yellowed old newspaper clippings. Probably because she confidently declared I should leave everything to her, Sachi's consciously trying not to show any sign of struggling. But in reality, she's practically at her wit's end. Precisely because of her own thoroughness and intelligence, the faults in every new plan must present themselves with frustrating speed. There's just no easy answers to this challenge. Hey Robert, how's it going, buddy? Yep, I got a new room. A much bigger room. So I got like a nice little nook here for computer and whatnot. How you doing? Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm just very tired still. I'm working nights. So, even when I think I'm getting enough sleep, I'm not. With a silent shout of encouragement, I ease the door shut and quietly leave Sachi's room behind.
この学園には幽霊がいるわ。
A fucking course we're gonna open with something like that.
セーブしますか？
Did we change what the scene is called? Yes, we did. Cool. Treat myself to a couple of Gundam kits for my birthday. Oh, well, happy birthday. And what kits did you treat yourself to? Just gonna check something real quick. Okay, I might be able to finish it off. RG Crossbone and MG Dynamite. Okay, two very good kits. Two very, very good kits. I'm now debating later I should move my keyboard up top again so it's easier to get at all the keys. I might. Honestly, I'll figure it out. Or for visual novels and stuff, just bring out my second keyboard so I can have that up top and then move it away. I don't know yet. A pleasant morning, the first relatively cool day after what felt like weeks of brutal heatwave headlines in the newspaper. After gathering us in the dorm lobby, Michiru delivers this abrupt announcement.
緊急招集というからどれだけ重要な用事かと思えばくだらない。
Wish they had RG version of Dynamis and Zabanya. That'd be nice. They're really selective on, obviously, what they'll make a real grade. Can't have everything, sadly. They gotta go with what they know will sell for real grades.ねえみちる、夏もそろそろ終わりだし、そんな中でもみんなを盛り上げたいっていうあんたの芸人根性はわかるけどさ。怖い話で涼しくなるっていうには少し遅すぎない？全然違うわよ。っていうか芸人って言うな。本当にいるのよ幽霊が。じゃあ見たの？しかとこの目で。Okay, enlighten us, Michiru. Where's this ghost? Huh. This sounds like quite the intriguing tale. Alright then. How do you happen to meet this ghost of yours, Michiru? あれはまだセミが熱中症になりかねない暑さが続いた日のことよ。私はその日、エアコンの設定温度を19度に設定したまま眠っちゃって、体を温めるために
中庭を散歩していたの。暑さをしのぐためのエアコンなのに本末転倒の話ね。そしたらすぐにまた暑くなってきて自分の部屋に戻ろうとしたのよ。ああ、そう。そしてちょうど学園長室のそばを通った時、突然ギュインギュインってチェーンソーを動かしてるような音が聞こえてきたのよ。
Okay, that was... yeah. I'm gonna be right back, actually. I want to throw my laundry in now while it's still somewhat early, so, be right back. Sorry about that. That was just kind of bugging me. Their laundry is in. Should be done by the time I finish this.
もちろん最初は何かの聞き間違いだと思ったわ。でもその音は間隔を空けて何度も聞こえてくるのよ。そしてそんなギュインギュインがピタッと聞こえなくなったと思ったら明かりのついてない真っ暗な廊下をふっと黒い人影が横切ったの。ってことがあったのよ。
I see. The ghost Michiru encountered was definitely me, but her superstitious explanation of those events is pretty convenient.
なんだ、見たって言うから期待してたのにただの影じゃん。それはきっとチルチルが見た夢なのよ。レム睡眠中で覚醒していた脳が幻を見せただけなのよさ。
はあ、あんたには夢ってもんがないわね。
What's that got to do with anything?
チルチルと違って現実見てるからな。
Oh my god.
それはどういう意味かな。なるほど。話はだいたい理解したわ。あれ、榊さんってこういう話苦手なのに意外な反応。別に苦手というわけではないけれど、その幽霊はきっと無害ね。
She knows it's us.
無害ってなんでそんなことがわかるのよ。そうね、言ってみればその幽霊とはちょっとした知り合いなのよ。ユミコ、あんたあんまり友達いなさそうだと思ったら、そっち方面のお友達はたくさんいたの？
ユミちゃん、モテそうだもんな、お化けに。
The popular kid in ghoul school. Thanks, Machina.
少し誤解を招いてしまったみたいだけれど、無害だというのは本当よ。ねえ、風見くん。そこでユージ？
Because she's figured out its real identity. Yeah, I'm familiar with that spirit as well. From what the principal tells me, it's one of those friendly ghosts. Casper? Seems it won't cause us any trouble unless we go out of our way to provoke it.
そっか、ユージも言うんならきっと本当なのね。これで安心して眠れるわよ。
よかったな、チルチル。これで夜サッチンにトイレについてきてもらわなくても大丈夫なのよさ。
そんなことで呼ばないわよ。部屋にトイレついてるし。ってサッチで思い出したけど、あの子最近部屋にこもることが多くなってきたわよね。
Well, I mean, she's gotta make that test go away. Gotta get rid of it. Oh, something I want to bring up though, just kind of randomly. I'm slowly putting more of the VODs onto YouTube, and I just started putting all the Grisaia ones on there. So everything I've done so far on Grisaia is up on YouTube now. Some of the common route videos are missing, but that isn't too bad because again, the common route is mostly like random little slice of life things. So we're not missing too much there, thankfully. But randomly, one of the VODs I threw on there got a copyright claim because of one of my sound alerts. Shockingly enough. It was the to be continued one. You know, that plays Roundabout? Yeah, that got a copyright claim. It's safe, though. They're okay with it being used. It's just there. Which I think is absolutely hilarious.
票だって本当はサチにも聞いてほしかったのに、ユージが今はそっとしておいてやれって言うから。
Yeah, she's in the middle of planning out how to get rid of the test for you. Needs some time to think.
それは分かってるけど、本当に大丈夫なの？これまでいろんなことをサチに頼んだけど、あの子がこんなに必死になったことなんてなかったわよ。
そういえばそうなのよさ。サッチンは何をやらせても涼しい顔でやっちゃうってのが美徳だったのに。
それだけ今回の依頼が難しい案件だということでしょ。私も自分なりに方法を考えてみたけど、全然浮かばなかったしね。
Don't worry, it's not gonna be realistic. 4 gazes settle on me, silently requesting a comment from the person who volunteered to undertake Michiru's request. It's fine. Yeah, Sachi's definitely got some tunnel vision right now. That's just because she's seriously concentrating on this request. It's not like she's completely oblivious to the world around her.
じゃあ心配いらないの？
That's right. She isn't missing any meals, and she still stops by my room every day.
まあ、一番一緒にいる彼氏がそう言うなら信じるけど、やっぱり心配は心配よね。
Not surprising. As the end of summer vacation approaches, Sachi's been spending more and more time shut up in her room. Sorry. Fortunately, the girl does seem to regard maintaining her physical health as one of her responsibilities. I'm pretty sure she's getting at least the minimal necessary nutrition and rest, but... Alright. Since you're all so concerned, I'll go check up on her in a little while.
そうね。そうしてもらえると安心できるかも。
サッチンに何かあったらすぐに知らせてほしいのよ。
Right. Got it. Well then. After cleaning the courtyard in Sachi's stead, I make my way over to her room, and then pause outside the door. Lately, Sachi hasn't been responding to knocks or even shouts from outside. It's becoming a matter of course, to barge into her room first and say hello second. I'm coming in. When I enter the room, I'm struck with a powerful sense of deja vu. It's like I'm watching a recording of yesterday, or the day before that. Even from behind, I can tell Sachi's glaring down at her desk with intense focus. Thick reference books and piles of paper lie in messy heaps across its surface. Seems like she's been doing a little research on the computers in the school building itself, but for the last few days, the vast majority of her time has been spent working alone in her room. I'm seeing some parallels, with her parents now. How her parents would hold themselves up with their work. Oblivious to my approach, Sachi silently continues to move her eyes across the pages. Sachi? No reaction. Not that I'd been particularly hopeful. Hey, Sachi.
ゆうくん。
I finally succeed in catching Sachi's attention by shaking her shoulder as I speak. Letting her book fall closed, she calmly turns her chair to face me. All this is a standard part of the new normal, but today I seem to have caught Sachi somewhat off guard. For a moment, I can see the deep exhaustion in her face.
私の顔に何かついていますでしょうか？
No, can't say there is. But Michiru and the others are worried, so I promise to check up on you.
そうですか。私、皆さんにご心配を。
Well, your top priority at the moment is fulfilling Michiru's request. I guess you don't have much choice but to slightly neglect the rest for the time being.
そうですね。一度約束したことは絶対守らなければいけません。嘘をつくのは悪い子ですから。
Only bad girls tell lies. If Sachi truly believes that, there's a question I need to ask her at this point. Sachi, mind if I ask you something?
はい、何でしょう。
You told me I could leave this job to you. Is that still true?
はい、私一人で大丈夫です。
I avoided asking outright whether she's found a method to get rid of the test, hoping to lead her gently toward revealing the truth. But Sachi answers my question without a moment's hesitation. That a fact?
はい、学力テストの日までには必ず依頼を達成してみせます。
As she speaks, Sachi intently returns my gaze. I've seen eyes like these before. There's none of Sachi's familiar spark of confidence, none of her composed determination. These are the eyes of a human being driven into a corner, knowing that all roads lie closed to them, still unable to accept their approaching ruin, blindly clinging to an impossible vision of the future. Get more light. Sorry. Hey, Mochi, how's it going, buddy? I've been okay. Tired, moved into a new room, but all's good. How have you been? Sachi's eyes are clouded with a narcotic haze of denial. Doing good, sorry I haven't shown up in a while, I've been busy and all that. That's all good, it's all good. It's life. Sometimes you can't show up. It's all good, don't worry about it. Trust me. I know life kind of taking priority over everything. Ugh, work is killing me. But we're slowing down. This will be like our next 2 days will be like our last busy days, and then everything chills out. How has Best Girl Sachi's route been treating you? Well, I mean, I'm liking it still. It is crazy the lengths she'll go to do things. And obviously everyone's worried. So I just want to see, how is she gonna get rid of this second test now? Like, I mean, the one in her, you know, actual backstory, okay, burn the school down, done. Can't really do that here. So what the hell are they planning? I see you've already read her backstory, judging for who you are. Yeah, I know her backstory and all that. Yeah, still in the planning stages to somehow get rid of this standardized test. My random guess is they're gonna literally blow up the fucking school. Because you can't burn it down. That's my guess. They're gonna blow it up. Which is just, Jesus Christ, that's extreme. Well, this removes all doubt.
何がはっきりしたんですか?
Nothing. Just talking to myself.
そうですか。
Slightly disconcerted expression flashes across Sachi's face, but soon enough she regains control of her features. In that case, I'll leave it in your hands. But if something comes up, say the word and I'll help anytime.
はい。ゆうくんにそう言っていただけると心強いです。
Yeah, the we shall see with the eyes is... Yeah, tell me it's gonna be extreme. After ruffling Sachi's hair for a moment, I quietly leave the room. If Sachi had admitted her dilemma and turned to me for help, events would probably have taken a complete 180 from their current course. And in doing so, I think the answer to my problem would soon have been revealed to her. And instead, Sachi brushed my offer aside and hid her struggle from me. Even to the point of lying, violating her own absolute standards for goodness. Unfortunately, it seems like my preparations won't have been in vain. Man, just seeing this VN makes me happy. So many good memories, such an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. You don't you like when you have games like that? Even if you haven't picked it up in like a while or something, just seeing some kind of game, just even its cover brings back all of those memories. It just gives you that little smile. Like 100% that's Katawa for me now. I mean, I've only been like 2 years almost since I actually played the game. But still, that's just kind of an impact it has on me. I see things from it and just instantly remember everything and just kind of smile. And you know, that was also an emotional roller coaster. Also me with Ratchet and Clank. What other games kind of make me feel like that? Probably just some older stuff then, I think. Like, I mean, I love the original... No, not the original. Just Star Fox 64. I love that game and always smile thinking about it. That doesn't exactly have a lot of Kingdom Hearts... Okay. There you go, right there. Just the entire series, in general. That whole series is nutty and insane. And I don't know what Nomura was thinking when he was, you know, writing that shit out. But I absolutely love it, like, to death. I have nothing but great memories with it, which is why I'm still playing through it. So excited for 4. I just want to know what they're going to do at this point with it. Like, mostly, what worlds are they going to include? Clearly, we got totally not Shibuya, as they've shown off. At some point, I guess they're going to, at least Donald and Goofy are going to go back to Olympus, to the underworld. Because Hades' Japanese VA was in that trailer. Going from blue light to a red light, so that's clearly Hades. Now I gotta ask, why is Hades, like, the second most recurring Disney villain in this fucking series? It's Maleficent, and then Hades. Why Hades? Dude, they made it so obvious that it was Hades. Like, does Nomura just like Hades that much? They love Hercules. Just Olympus Coliseum in general is the, like, most recurring Disney world. I don't know why there's so much, but honestly, it's the James Wood voice. James Woods just always has a blast voicing Hades, I guess. And he kills it, like, every time. You can't help but like it. He just brings that energy. So we know not Shibuya, at the very least Olympus Coliseum or just the underworld will show up in a cutscene. And if we're going by what people spotted in that trailer, potentially a Star Wars world. That is something people have been asking for since Disney bought the franchise. Adding a Star Wars world into Kingdom Hearts. I guess you could say it would only work if they're in, you know, what happened by the end of everything. I'm not spoiling that because I want to get up to it and show it all on stream. Hey, Nick. Sora did say Olympus is his favorite world. Wow, that's dialogue I've clearly missed somewhere. Star Wars needs a world at this point, bro. Lightsaber Keyblade is a must. Yeah, I really freaking do. At this point, there has to be some kind of Star Wars aspect into it. I can see people arguing like the Star Wars is like too big to kind of include because it has its own like world-ending things going on, like everything with the Force and all that. Like that feels like a whole too big of a fish to try to cram into Kingdom Hearts. That's already, you know, kind of insane. If they can do pirates, they can do Star Wars. Okay, it kind of got me there, sorta. I don't know. Star Wars feels like something that is... They'd have to do it right. They'd have to find some way to really strike that balance without Sora just being so super overpowered or so inconsequential that's like, why is he even here? Kind of thing. Like, we don't need another Frozen or Tangled world where we're just kind of there and don't really, you know, contribute. It's like, well, the events of Star Wars are happening and, hey, there's just Sora in the background. Sora doesn't have the Force or anything, so there's literally nothing he can do against these Force wielders. Like, as cool it would kind of be to have Sora throw down with Palpatine, blocking lightning with a Keyblade, and firing back with his own magic. I don't know. When it comes with villains, good old Sheev is kind of in his own league. Or I will, when I eventually get to 3, I will go off on the problems I have with Kingdom Hearts 3's worlds. That is a big can of fish. Big can of worms, I mean, that are to be opened. Ooh. But I've still got a while to go. I'm just on Birth by Sleep right now. When someone asks you for a symbol of summer, plenty of things probably come to mind. Anyway, sorry to go off topic with Grisaia time. No worries, no worries. I always go off on tangents. It's all good. It's all good. Cicadas, watermelon, the beach, fireworks, shaved ice. Anyone can make a pretty decent list out of just the obvious standards. We've all experienced every one of these at some point. But for students in particular, one of the more memorable aspects of the summer experience arrives only at its very end.
よりにもよってなんでこんな日に神様がさあ夏休み最後の日を楽しみなさいって言ってるような天気のいい日にどうして私は勉強しないといけないのよそれはあんたが全然宿題やってなかったからでしょうが
Ah yes, the one thing every student, at least in Japan, remembers fondly of summer. The last day homework cram session. I never had to deal with that. In North American, we don't have summer homework. Because we don't have the same teachers or anything. None of that carries over.
だってわからない宿題があったらいつもはサチがやってくれてたし
呆れた。あなた1学年下の小峰さんに宿題を手伝ってもらっていたの？
だってサチがよろしければ私がって言ってくれるから
She offered, so how could I say no? Oh, Michiru.
で、思わずその行為に甘えてしまったと。
チルチルはあれなサッチンみたいなできる人と結婚したらダメ人間になってしまうのよさ
Oh my god.
ダメ人間ってそれはツンともせずデレもせずだらしなく伸びた金髪を揺らして歩く見た目もそうジルジルって感じなのよ
Too lazy to sun, too lethargic to dede. Oh my god. Yes, Michiru, be careful or you will become Jabba the Hutt.
私の未来をリアルに予測しないで
Perhaps, definitely not entirely wrong. Machina is the one full of all the sick burns. Michiru's got it tough in her own right.
風見くん、ちょっといいかしら。
As I watch Michiru thrash about, her beloved twin tail swinging from side to side with all the kinetic energy of a traditional Chinese lion dance. That's a hell of a descriptor, by the way. A very specific descriptor. Sakaki sidles up and requests my attention. What? You haven't finished your homework either, Sakaki?
ついてきて。
Not dignifying my attempt at humor with a response, Sakaki pivots on her heel and begins to walk. I follow obediently.
ひとまずはここでいいわ。
After briskly making her way up the stairs to the third floor, Sakaki stops abruptly and turns back to face me. Usually might as well be a writer at this point with his big words and in-depth descriptions. Yeah, everything is always a super specific comparison. I mean, the dude is well read, so maybe. Yeah, that's why he's using very specific things. He's just read so much. And the crazy shit he's heard all these girls talk about and seen them deal with so far, yeah, he could probably write a decent book. A comedy book. So why bring me all the way up here? Planning to confess your love or something?
ずいぶん余裕があるみたいだけれど、勝算はあるの？
Ah, so that's what this is about.
ええ。あなたたちが受けた依頼は、休み明けにあるテストをなくすこと。だとしたら、残り時間はもうほとんどない。明日になって授業が始まれば、さらに手を出しにくくなるはずでしょ？
Absolutely right on all counts, Sakaki.
ならこの状況で小峰さんはどうやってあの依頼を達成するというの？
You'll find out soon enough.
あなたいつまでそうやって答えをごまかすつもりなの？
Such a cynic. I'm not being evasive this time.
それはどういう意味？
It means that Sachi's gonna make her move today. On that note, I need your help with something, Sakaki.
手伝ってもらいたいこと？
Yeah. First of all, take these. Yumiko's so awesome, easily second best girl, because no one beats Sachi. Michiru is still number one for me right now, but I haven't experienced, 3 of the girls' routes yet. But Michiru is still my number one. I reach into my breast pocket, retrieve the tickets I prepared beforehand, and hold them out for Sakaki to accept.
これは
A complimentary helicopter ride ticket. 4 of them, to be exact. See Mishima Cape's beautiful night scenery spread out below you and all that.
これはあなたの方をビンタしてもいい合図として受け取ればいいのかしら？
No. I'm perfectly serious.
じゃあこのチケットがあの依頼にどう関係しているのか説明してちょうだい。
I'm assuming it's to get you and the other girls out of the way. We already talked about the possibility of danger, remember? These tickets have a great deal to do with that.
つまりこのチケットは私たちへの配慮だと？
Yeah. It's a win-win. You won't face any unfounded suspicion, and it'll be easier for us to act.
なるほど。あなたの言いたいことは分かったわ。
Glad to hear it.
でも、その説明で私が納得するとでも？
Pretty much, yeah. You did promise to help me out. And I trust you, Sakaki.
相変わらずずるい言い方だわ。
Mumbling in a sulky tone of voice, Sakaki quietly slides the tickets into her pocket. Lamau. Oh, yeah. You so needed to go along with it? Well, yeah. Yeah, my prediction is they want to blow up the school. They're literally gonna make the school go bye-bye. And they're gonna get them a helicopter ride, and they'll get to see it from above. So that'll be something. That's just my prediction. No more education. Oh my god. Thanks. I owe you one.
別に恩が売りたいわけではないけれど、このチケットで私は何をすればいいのかしら？
Nothing special. Go enjoy the view. Just make sure to get the others to come along.
たったそれだけなの？
Over the last few months, I've learned all too well that corralling that group is never an easy task.
なるほど。確かにそうかもしれないわね。
Counting on you to take care of them.
ええ。すべてが終わったら、じっくり話を聞かせてもらうことにするわ。
Cutting off the conversation, Sakaki turns to leave the room. Before you go, I want to apologize.
え？
Sorry, Sakaki.
これはどういう風の吹き回し？すべてを話せないことに対するお詫びのつもりなのかしら？
You'll understand that soon enough as well. My wisecrack goes over like a lead balloon. In the end, Sakaki stalks off down the stairs in an even worse mood than before. Sorry for the hassle, Sakaki. Yeah, we're fucking blowing this thing up. We're blowing this fucking school up, I guarantee it.
ただいまなのよさ。
Just as I'm leaving my room, I hear Amane and Makina returning through the front door. That's a lot of bags. Shopping expedition, I assume?
そうなんだけど、ちょっとおかしなことがあったのよね。
How so?
いつもみたいにアマネーがお色気を振りまきながら商店街で買い物してたら
Of course.
みんながアマネちゃんやマキボウも大変だねって言いながらいろいろおまけしてくれたのよさ。
でも、私たちには何の心当たりもないから、得した反面、ちょっと悪い気がしちゃってさ。
Okay, I mean, you usually get free stuff anyway, Amane, so what makes this time different? I see.
ユージは何か心当たりあったりする？
Nothing comes to mind. Maybe they just decided to show some appreciation for your constant patronage?
だといいんだけどね。
Not entirely convinced, Amane wanders slowly up the stairs to the second floor with her head tilted slightly in puzzlement.
ねえお兄ちゃん、今日サッチン見た？
Come to think of it, no. She hasn't been around.
お兄ちゃんが見てないって言うなら買い物にでも行ってるのかもしれないのよさ。
It's a possibility, yeah.
じゃあもしサッチンを見かけたら私が探してたって伝えてほしいのよ。
Got it. I'll pass that on.
ありがとう。じゃあ私はアマネーの手伝いをしてくるのよさ。
By snatching half-cooked food off the plate when her back's turned?
失礼な。それは少しだけなのよさ。
Only snatch in moderation. God damn it. Pretty indignant, considering she's not even denying it. Not bothering to offer a verbal retort, I watch Makina trot energetically up the stairs toward toward Amane's room. I was about to say Makina's room. Whatever. Assuming she's gonna act today, Sachi might already have begun to make her preparations. Me too, Makina, me too. Sakaki successfully coaxed the others out. The dorm lies silent and deserted. Alone on the roof, I gaze blankly out at the sinking sun. I'm sure the others had questions about this sudden event, and why Sachi and I weren't coming along. But none of them got to me. Guess Sakaki was thoughtful enough to take care of that. One moment. Sorry about that. Just checking something out. And all is good. Not long till nightfall. I'm not particularly fond of the night. To be honest, you could say that I actively dislike it. Night is a deep and hostile blackness that swallows us whole. A darkness so absolute that it feels like a premonition of death. It makes us remember things we'd rather forget, images we've tried to erase from our memories. It shows us, with gut-wrenching clarity, just how weak and powerless we really are. Of course, I'm aware that the same doesn't apply for everyone. But ever since that day, this is what the night has been for me. Even at a time like this, I let my guard down for a minute, and I start shaking like an idiot. And tonight, there's more to it than old traumas. The vague anxiety I felt ever since I decided to bring Sachi's normality is weighing heavily on my shoulders. I'll bring Sachi normality. I misread that. Missaid it. I felt the same way when I forced her to accept this request. It's something like guilt. I drove Sachi's back to the wall for my own selfish reasons. Got practically everyone I know mixed up in all this, as well. I love little bits and pieces that we get of Yuchi's past. Relevant statements about menial things like the night. Yeah, honestly, yes. And it's never the same thing between each route, which I like. It's never the exact same thing he says. He said different, small little bits about his past back in Michu's route, and a few little different bits here now in Sachi's. They're not just flat out saying, hey, this is like my entire backstory right now, this second. And you're in the next route, here it is again and again. No, you gotta piece it together yourself. I mean, we especially had a lot of clues here from a lot of things from Sachi's, where he had a genius sister, and he considered himself, and I guess his parents also kind of considered him worthless and irrelevant and like, why do you even exist kind of thing. And clearly something happened that made him go and live with his master, who taught him a bunch of stuff and kind of shaped him into the person he is today. We haven't gotten the specifics of what happened yet. Yeah, the little things of, I don't like the knight. This game has a lot of good rating. It tells you enough, just enough to make your brain start thinking and theory craft in your own way. After all that, even if I succeed, will it really make her any happier? Gambling with someone's life here. You really alright with that? When I close my eyes, the other side of me whispers its doubts. Look at that. I'm trembling. Still scared of the dark at my age. Almost like a curse, isn't it? The students gathered in this academy all have their quirks, and I'm no exception. I really hope you end up reading Labyrinth of Grisaia and Eden of Grisaia as well. They do have more to you, just past this character a lot more. I'd love to see your reaction to that stuff. I probably will end up getting them. I'm gonna, like, fingers crossed, wait for, like, a sale for them, so I could hopefully get both, just in one fell swoop. But I'm liking this enough, I do kind of want to see more. I'll probably definitely want to see more. Plus, I gotta fill in that visual novel slots with something. And I'm also a fan of sequels in general. Especially, like, they delve more into Yuji's past, so it's like, hey, cool. We got little bits of it in this game, give us more in the next. Right now, I'm just a piece of defense equipment, kept alive by my country for its own purposes. I'm not gifted with perfect insight and judgment. I've never been a genius like my sister was. Far from it. Am I really qualified to be messing around with her life? When I voice my worries, I feel sweat gathering unpleasantly in the palms of my hands. Still, if I let myself flinch this late in the game, my master would probably come back to life just to kick my ass into next week. That's right. No point in hesitating now. I already made my decision. I'll do everything I can. And I'll believe in Sachi. Alright, shit's about to go down.
昼間のうちに一箇所だけ窓の鍵を開けておき、そこから校舎の中に侵入。中に入ったら、そばに用意しておいたあれを校舎内に搬入する。
Mentally reviewing the plan I polished over these last few days, I follow the procedure with exacting care, one deliberate step at a time. From what the principal told us, the achievement test will be held the day after tomorrow. However, considering the opening ceremony tomorrow and the unpredictable obstacles it will present,
Today is my last real chance to carry out this task. But even after all my meticulous research and thorough brainstorming, I was unable to find a plausible alternative to my previous method.
でも大丈夫。前回はうまくいったんだし、この方法自体に問題があるわけじゃない。
Yeah, don't mind me changing voices for that. Just to kind of differentiate between who's narrating. Because now we're at Sachi's point of view, which I feel like you don't get that too often in visual novels. I could be wrong though, because I haven't played too much. Getting a lot of scenes where your main character just isn't present, like at all in any capacity.
ミスなく計画通りの手順を踏めば、きっと今回もうまくいく。
Oh, don't worry, bro. I also like changing voices. All right, cool. I do that a lot. The last two of these visual novels I've gone through, there was no voice acting at all. So yeah, listen to me try to do 4 different fucking girl voices. And then the one before that, it's like, hey, you want to try to do 6? Oh, that was a fun time. Hey, it was entertaining. I enjoyed myself.
だから大丈夫。大丈夫。
I repeat the words again and again, trying to convince myself they're true.
Sometimes it make it obvious when they change voices in this VN was my problem. I'm like, oh wait, I'm not Yuji. yeah, I think there was 1 or 2 moments where I was caught with that. It's like, oh wait, this is not Yuji talking right now, or even thinking.
Trying to distract myself from the hazy, dark discomfort smoldering somewhere deep inside my chest.
これはきっと良くないもの。いい子でいるためには必要ないもの。だから余計なことは考えないようにしなきゃ。
Regaining my calm with an effort of will, I begin to spread a certain something along the darkened hallway. The instant the liquid in the thick plastic can touches the outside air, a unique smell fills my nose.
About to say lungs there.
I knew this stench well even as a child, when I used to help pour new fuel into the kerosene heaters that warmed our home. But I never did come to like it. As these distracted thoughts run through my head, I empty the can, then drop a rag to the floor and let the oil soak into it.
あとはこれに火をつける。
When I whisper those words to myself, I feel a voice whispering back, somewhere deep inside my mind. My hands come to a sudden stop. And as my thoughts turn to the nature of that voice, I violently shake my head back and forth, pushing it all away. I don't need to listen. Not now. I crouch to the ground, determined, resigned, vaguely feeling some part of myself give up. And I reach out to the slick rag, a lighter clenched firmly in my hand. The small seed of flame I planted at the corner of the cotton cloth blossoms quickly. Spreading along the line of fuel, it transforms before my eyes into a full-scale fire. Scorching heat batters my skin. It's not an unfamiliar sensation. I'm seized with a strange feeling, almost like nostalgia. But none of that matters any longer.
A detailer revised losing light too good? Yes. She needed to stop thinking and just do it.
Since this time I deactivated the fire alarms and sprinkler system beforehand, All I need to do is repeat this procedure a few times throughout the building.
これでみちる様の依頼を達成することができる。そうすればゆうくんから出された課題の答えもきっと見つかる。
For a moment, relief blooms in my chest. And in the next, the sound of a dozen showers switched on at once. The sprinklers installed in the ceiling spring to life. Before I can even understand the situation, an almost disproportionate torrent of cold water rains down, soaking every inch of the hallway. The flames that were growing so vigorously only seconds before shrink with astonishing swiftness.
そんなちゃんと確かめたはずなのにどうして。
Just last night, I entered the pump room and turned off every last one of the disaster prevention systems installed in this building, even testing that sprinklers would no longer activate. But all of a sudden, they're completely functional. It's simply incomprehensible. The fire's gone out. That one thought filling my mind, I run over to the rag, sheltering it with my body, and desperately flick the switch of my lighter.
お願いついて。お願い。
But the cloth's already soaked through with water. It refuses to accept the flame. A waterlogged piece of cotton isn't going to catch fire. I understand that rationally, but still push the switch frantically, half crazed with desperation and terror.
Okay, so this is what he planned. So you chose this method after all. When I turn the corner into the thoroughly drenched hallway, I find Sachi crouched low on the floor, eyes wide with shock. Interesting that she came in full school uniform, not the maid outfit she finds it easiest to work in. I guess she's trying to show respect for the place, in her way.
まさかこれゆうくんが。
Yeah. I turned the sprinklers on this afternoon, if that's what you're wondering about. Deliberately sabotaged her. Well, it'd be a bit of a pain in the ass if the alarms went off, so I did leave those deactivated. Carefully shutting down the preventative systems beforehand to enable setting a large-scale fire. Just the sort of plan I'd expect from you, Sachi.
でもどうしてそれをゆうくんが。それにどうして今ここに。
It's actually pretty simple to predict the way a competent, careful person will approach something like this. If I was gonna try and set fire to this building, I'd have done the exact same thing. Taking out the sprinklers was a necessity, and today was the only day to do it.
じゃあゆうくんは私が学校に放火しようとしていたことを。
Yeah. I expected you'd use this method from the start. And I turned the sprinklers back on because there's something I want to tell you. Sachi's mind doesn't seem to have fully caught up with events. Her face is blank, her eyes filled with puzzlement. Most likely, she hadn't even begun to consider the possibility that someone would step in to interfere at this juncture. The situation you're dealing with here is completely different from the last one. The size and construction of this building is nothing like that little wooden schoolhouse. Plus, it's equipped with state-of-the-art firefighting systems. Disabling those beforehand was a good start, but sprinkling kerosene around like you did last time would require a lot more fuel to be really effective. And you need a lot more time to spread it. Considering that you absolutely have to do the job alone before anyone notices, your chances of success are virtually nil. It's entirely likely you'd cause some damage here and there. That's not going to be a huge problem. The test will just be moved to an intact classroom. This place was designed for people like us, remember? You're not going to shut it down that easily. As I lay out the truth of the situation, Sachi stares up at me with disbelief and terror in her eyes.
じゃあ私は
Yeah. At this rate, you're going to fail.
そんな
The color instantly drains from Sachi's face. She slumps jerkily to the soaking wet floor like a puppet cut from its strings. Why so surprised? Pretty sure you knew this wouldn't work all along. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been searching that intently for another way. No need for all that research if your previous method was good enough. But no matter how you looked, no matter how hard you thought it over, no other solution presented itself. And unable to find a genuinely viable strategy, you had no choice but to turn to your previous method. Since there was no other way. Even if the prospects looked dim, you could at least cling to the thought that it worked before. Am I wrong?
そんなことありません。前はこの方法でうまくいったんですから、絶対にうまくいきます。だから大丈夫なんです。だって他に方法がないなら必ず成功させるしかない。失敗することなんて考えてはいけないんです。だって私に失敗は許されない。
God damn.
私はいつもいい子でいなきゃいけない。どんな手段を使っても絶対にこの依頼を成功させなきゃダメなんです。
I've never seen this expression on her face before. Never heard her voice so thick with emotion. The sound echoes fiercely down the dark hallway. No one responds. Her anguish and desperation hang in the air for a moment, then fade into the indifferent silence, as if to symbolize her long, lonely, futile struggle. Tell me something, Sachi. Why are you so determined to do everything asked of you? Why you're so persistent with this good girl thing? Getting rid of a test is a completely unreasonable demand to make of a normal human being. The others said as much, didn't they? Even if you give up now, they'll probably just say, yeah, figured as much. Nobody's gonna hold it against you.
それはウー君の推測に過ぎません。
What?
どんなに仲のいい相手でも相手の気持ちは相手にしか分かりません。それは血のつながった家族だって同じです。だから一度も失敗できない。何かを失いたくなければいい子でいないといけない。誰よりも勉強をして誰よりも言うことを聞いて誰からも好かれるような子でいなければいけないんです。そうじゃないと みんな亡くなってしまう。
Oh my god.
現に幼い頃の私が悪い子だったせいで、私の大好きだった人はみんな私の前からいなくなりました。あんなに私のことを可愛がってくれていたお父さんとお母さん、わがままばかり言う私に愛想を尽かしてあんなことになって。
That's trauma for you.
それにウくんだって、大切なものを失うのは自分が死ぬことよりも怖い。あんなに辛い思いをするのはもう嫌なんです。もう何も失いたくない。だから私は絶対に失敗できないんです。今度失敗したらきっとまたみんないなくなってしまう。こんな私に彼女になれって言ってくれたゆうくんも、みちる様もまきちゃんもあまねさんもさくきさんも学園長さんもみんないなくなってしまうんです。
Sachi's feelings flow out of her in a torrent of words, her voice rising to a shout. Every sentence is filled with such bitterness that it's difficult to even listen. The pain of losing those who were precious to her, the sadness, the impotent anger, all jumbled together in an anguished wail. To me, it sounds like the voice of a child crying out for help. So then, if you become a good girl, if you succeed in this request, will you be yourself again? Will acting like a good girl should keep the things you love safe? What do you think, Sachi? Sachi's bared her heart to me. In return, I offer not kindness or comforting words, but a steady gaze.
それはもちろんです。
It makes Sachi struggle so heart-wrenching that it's not even unthinkable. A lot of us have thoughts that we have to do everything we're told, otherwise we... Yeah! Honestly, yeah! 100%. And then just, you know, add the trauma she suffered as a kid on top of that, and she takes it to just any extreme. She just takes it to a massive extreme. If I don't do literally everything they say to a T, they will instantly leave me alone. Never want anything to do with me. Like, goddamn. I see. In that case, I'll grant your wish. I'm gonna help you become the person you want to be. I'll make sure you complete this task.
そんな、どうして？
I made a promise, didn't I? I want to help you be yourself.
だとしても、ゆうくんはさっきこの依頼を成功させるのは限りなく不可能に近いって。
You said it'd be virtually impossible alone. Especially for Sachi. Would it be impossible for Yuji? Virtually impossible means there's a non-zero chance. And if you're not trying to do everything alone, things change pretty dramatically. As long as you really are willing to do whatever it takes, there are plenty of ways to get this done.
それは本当でしょうか？
Of course.
じゃあユウくんには今回の依頼を成功させるための作戦があるんですね。
Yeah. I have a slightly different way of doing things, but it should be fine. The preliminary arrangements are already in place.
いつの間にそんなことを。
I assume joint responsibility for our success on this job. And when 9029 participates in a mission, failure isn't an option. Okay, so he has a number. 9029. So that tells you what Ichigai is all about. He's seen as just a number. Of course, this isn't an Ichigaya job, and I'm not going on a cleaning expedition. Even so, I'm still my master's pupil. Asako didn't just develop my technique and cram me full of technical knowledge. She taught me a whole way of thinking. No matter what the job entails, I'll face it with the resolve and focus I bring to the most dangerous missions. 9029 gets mentioned a lot, by the way. Don't forget that it's Yuji's number. Yeah, I figured it was Yuji's number.
9029。
Well, it's just a number that comes with a bit of a reputation. No matter how ugly things look, 9029 pulls through. Sachi gazes up at me as though I've descended on a cloud from heaven. More like erupted on a pillar from hell. Having proposed this strategy, I naturally know full well how things are going to play out. And when I think about what's coming, it takes a real effort not to turn away from that gaze.
ユウくん？
No, it's nothing. Shaking my head lightly to drive away that lingering touch of guilt, I settle my face into a serious expression. But since it's your perfect record at stake here, I think you should be the one to actually carry this plan out.
はい。私にできることがあれば何でもやらせてください。
Right. In that case, there's something I want you to do for me.
やってもらいたいこと。ここは学園長室ですよね。
Yeah. This was my base camp during the initial preparations. Although Chizuru might be irritated to hear me say it, I needed a room no one was likely to drop by and visit. Oof.
ということは、ずいぶん前から準備を。
That's right. The method I came up with involved a good amount of simple spade work.
なるほどです。
I still say there should be a Tachibana route. Give me a Chizuru route. That's just me, though. I want more of the principle. Anyway, everything's more or less ready to go. But we still need the finishing touch.
仕上げ。
I'd like you to help me with that. JB and Chizuru wrote when? I know, right? I retrieve a sizable duraluminum case from behind the desk and swing it open.
これは何でしょう。粘土みたいにぐにゃぐにゃしていますけど。
It's fucking C4, isn't it? Guess it's not surprising that Sachi wouldn't recognize this stuff, no matter how broad her studies may be. Well, she might have heard of it, but that probably wouldn't translate into recognizing it by sight. I'm hoping to wrap this up before midnight, so I'm not going to explain in detail at the moment. Just think of it as clay for now, like you said.
粘土で学力テストをなくすことができるんですか？
Oh yeah, I fucking knew it. They're blowing this thing sky high. Yeah. Once you set some of that up in a few places, the job's done. I'll show you what needs to be done. Think you can handle it, Sachi?
はい、粘土細工は得意な方だと自負しています。お任せください。
Your artistic talents aren't really relevant, but whatever. That confidence should be more than enough to pull this off.
はい。
Alright, first of all, I'll explain how to install it. You see this deep hole here?
はい、それに点々と木箱のようなものが廊下に。
Well, getting all of these ready was one part of the spade work I mentioned.
なるほどです。
Anyway, when you see a hole like this, install one of these long, thin pieces of clay inside. Like so. If there's a square drawn on the wall instead, set one of these square pieces of clay on top of it. That's all you need to do for me. Any questions?
ありません。
Excellent. I've marked the points you need to cover on these plans, so go ahead and get started. I'll be taking care of something else in the meantime.
はい、わかりました。
Looks like that's about it.
はい。
Sachi can't fully mask the wariness in her voice or on her face. No doubt a result of all the pressure she's been under lately. Our final tasks completed, we meet up in the courtyard as arranged beforehand.
私は本当にあの図面通りに粘土を設置しただけなのですが、これでテストをなくすことができるのでしょうか？
Yeah. As long as we didn't make any mistakes, it will.
そうですか。
Apparently not fully buying my assurances, Sachi answers somewhat half-heartedly. Of course, she doesn't have the concrete details. To her, it really was nothing more than scattering some clay around the building. It'd be stranger if she wasn't a little dubious at this point. Okay, I can tell you want to see some results. Let's get moving.
はい、わかりました。ゆうくん、私たちはどこへ向かっているのでしょう？
We're going to a safe house at this point. Keep us protected from the blast. Which I feel like is gonna be... I don't know, down the highway a bit. Maybe. I don't know how much they're using. Probably a lot. God knows what it'll react with in there. Set anything else off. Sachi tagged along in silence for a good while, but eventually she's no longer able to contain her uncertainty. A place where we can overlook the school.
どうしてそんなところに？
You'll understand soon. Oh my god, Yuji just looks terrible. Just like, He looks... he looked bored. Bored, indifferent, just like, whatever kind of thing. It's another Tuesday for him. Alright, I guess here will be fine. After about 20 minutes of walking, we reach a high place not far away. There's little cover of any sort. Below us, the reclaimed spit of land where our school stands lies clearly visible.
確かに学園が見渡せる景色の綺麗な場所ですけど、ゆうくんはここで何を？
Gonna watch the fireworks. before I answer that question, there's something I want to confirm.
確認ですか？
Yeah. You sure you want to do this? Fulfill this request.
それはどういう意味でしょう？
You want to do what you're told without fail. To answer every demand anyone makes of you. And so, you're absolutely determined to carry out even a completely unreasonable request like getting rid of the test. That's the choice you're making here. You sure you're not going to regret it?
後悔。
Listen to me, Sachi. This is an important question. Think it over carefully and give me an honest answer. Sachi falls silent, a serious expression on her face. Looks like she's already started to deliberate. I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know how she's reasoning her way through this question. But no matter how dependent she may be on others, no matter how passive and obedient her way of life, in the end, her decisions are her own. If nothing else, I want to remind her of that.
ゆうくん、私はこの依頼を成功させたいです。
Okay. Press the little red button. The detail of her not even understanding, regretting, carrying out unreasonable order. Yeah. She's doing it to do it. She doesn't... Yeah. That's it. She's just doing it.
いい子で居続けること。それが私が私でいられるってことなんです。
I see. I think you say she has some like OCD there. She just has to do it. Doesn't care any reason why. Won't feel any regret or anything. It's like, I need to do this now. Absolutely. Must do this. Then I have no choice but to make her realize. Guess it's gonna cause a bit of trouble for you guys, but those are the breaks. Your luck ran out the day I transferred into your class. Sorry, Sakaki, Amane, Michiru, Makina. Alright then. I'll throw this switch, and you'll get what you want. With those words, I retrieve a crudely made remote control from my jacket and hand it to Sachi.
私がこのスイッチを？
Yeah. Doesn't look like much, does it? But I guarantee you, that thing will get rid of the test. Throw that switch, and you'll stay a good girl.
わかりました。
After staring down at the small box in her hands for a long moment, Sachi shifts her gaze to our school, firm conviction in her eyes. Of course. Of course, we're gonna switch to something else before the, main event.
確かにあんなに美味しい中華料理食べたのって初めてかもね。てなわ
けでチルチル、私眠くなってきたからちょっと膝枕して。
ああ、なんで私がそんなことしなきゃいけないのよ。ちょっとだけだからね。
あんがとう、ジルジル。
ジルジル言うな。
じゃあジュルジュル。
それあだ名ですらないじゃない。もうただの擬音になってるし。でも中華街で高級中華食べ放題の後はヘリで夜景鑑賞なんて。榊さんの家がお金持ちなのは知ってるけど、こんなに豪遊しちゃって大丈夫だったの？ええ、中華以外は私のお金じゃないもの。え？なんて？なんでもないの。ねえねえ由美子、あれが東京タワー。あれが噂の東京タワーなの。 松島さん、あなたが初めての空からの夜景に興奮しているのは分かるけどもう少し静かにできないの？
失礼ね。私だって空からの夜景くらい見たことあるわよ。海外行ったことあるし。
へえ、みちるって海外行ったことあるんだ。
まあね。でも遠い昔の話よ。
Well, we know why she flew overseas. Thanks to her route. For one very specific reason.
でも榊さんも粋な計らいしてくれるわよね。夏休み最終日にこんな思い出作ってくれるなんて。
Reference to Michiru's route, gotta love it. Yeah, I know, right?
そう思ったのならお礼は風見くんに言っておくといいの？ん？そこでなんでユージ？私に今日のことを提案してくれたのは風。なるほどなるほど。榊さんのデレぶりにはそういう裏があったわけですか。
それよりさ、夜景が綺麗なのが東京の方ばっかりで、西間崎の方はあまり見るとこない感じじゃない？
それはしょうがないでしょう。西間崎って割と田舎だし。
そうでもないのよ。さっきあそこがピカって光ったし。
Something just flashed over there.
え？どこどこ？
あ、
A brief flash of light. Unlike an aerial bombing, there's no brilliant burst of flame to accompany the powerful sound of the blast. Pretty plain explosion, as these things go. By the way, can someone answer that phone? Because I fucking called it! They're blowing up the fucking school. The school building where I spent the last 3 months of my life, and Sachi, nearly a year of hers, crumbles noisily before our eyes.
あれは美浜学園ですよね。
Yeah, it was Mihama Academy, at least. We just got rid of it, along with that test.
じゃあ私がさっき設置した粘土のようなものはまさか。
Plastic explosives. Modern Japanese architecture is world famous for its strict building codes and sturdy engineering, you know. Demolishing even a modest-sized structure requires a lot of detailed calculations, and boring into the supporting columns is a pretty involved process. Just getting the necessary amount of explosives ready was a real challenge. Anyway, with the building itself gone, the school won't be up and running anytime soon. That test isn't going to happen. In fact, I expect that's going to be the last thing on anyone's mind for a while.
確かにその通りです。
Sachi responds vaguely to my explanation, her tone absent-minded. The words seem to have left her mouth out of reflex. Her attention is clearly glued to the building below. Or what's left of it, anyway. There were plenty of other formalities and preparations involved as well. Considering all the time it took to set this up, it sure disappeared pretty quickly.
そうですね。
Something wrong? This is what you wanted, right?
はい。ゆうくんの言う通りです。これでテストがなくなるなら、みちる様の依頼を達成したことになる。そうなれば、私はいい子で居続けることができます。それが私の望んだもので、私はそのためだけに今まで頑張ってきた。
And all it took was adding yet another destroyed school to your resume.
なのに、それなのに、 なにも胸がざわざわするのはなぜなんでしょう。
Because you destroyed your school? A place where you made a lot of good memories? Apparently unable to grasp her own emotions, Sachi continues to stare down at the rubble that was once our school, her face blank with confusion. Can't understand where that's coming from, huh?
はい。
Well, I guess it's I guess that's not surprising. You never felt uncertainty about doing what you're told, have you? Never felt it necessary to even consider how obeying an order makes you feel.
じゃあ私は
Oh, she's actually crying. I just noticed that. She's crying. Put a hand to your cheek. Sachi obediently brings her hand to her face, and her fingers brush against a small stream of tears.
あれ私でもどうして
The girl wasn't even aware she was crying. Her confusion only deepening, Sachi looks up at me with a face full of pure bewilderment. You may not be conscious of it yet, but a part of you already knows the answer to that question. What was that place?
私が去年から通っている学園です。
Yeah, it was so subtle to the point even the reader may not notice, just like Sachi. Yeah, it took me a little bit to notice she was crying. It's there, but it blends in, and there wasn't really didn't see any kind of quick little transition for it to appear. Yeah. And?
ゆうくんがいて、皆さんがいて、今日まで本当にたくさんのことがあった場所です。
Specifically? What sort of things?
みんなでいろんな科目の授業を受けて、みんなで遊んで、屋上で流しそうめんをしたこともありました。
Anything else come to mind?
最近はいろいろな相談に乗っていただきました。ちょっとエッチな相談に乗ってもらったり、
Slightly naughty matters? You managed to get us into the bath so we could bang.
おしゃれの相談に乗ってもらったり、ゆうくんから出された課題について相談に乗ってもらったこともありました。
So you spent a lot of time there. What sort of memories are those?
とても楽しい時間だったと思います。前の学校にいた頃は考えられなかったような会話と笑顔に満ちた空間。私が転入してきたこの美浜学園は、町の人たちから刑務所と比喩されるような場所とは正反対のところだったんです。外では厄介者扱いされるような私のことを、この学園は受け入れてくれました。
Mm-hmm. And what did you just do?
みちる様は私のことを必要としてくれました。まきちゃんは私のことを一番の友達だと言ってくれました。あまねさんは私にたくさんのことを教えてくれました。榊さんは一歩引いたところからいつも私のことを気にかけてくれていました。
Mm-hmm. The words begin to flow smoothly, naturally. Sachi no longer needs my questions to guide her. As she begins to understand the meaning of her tears, her honest feelings come pouring out of her mouth.
私が大好きだったあの家のように温かい場所。
And by being a good girl, you made it go...
それが私にとっての美浜学園です。
That a fact?
はい。あの学園は私にとってきっとそれだけ特別な場所だったんです。
Right. And you just destroyed that special place with your own hands. Since your 10th birthday, you've been clinging persistently to a single idea, telling yourself it's the one and only answer. Do what you're told. Be a good girl. Never disobey. And your stubborn adherence to that simplistic rule brought you to this moment. Oh, now she's full on bawling. That I noticed. She is now just bawling.
私いい子で言い続けたのに、あんなに頑張ったのに、いい子で居続けることで大切なものを失うなら、私は今まで何のために。こんなの違う。絶対に違う。私が望んでいたのはこんなんじゃない。こんなんじゃないのに。
Remember what you said to me just a few minutes ago? You told me that being a good girl is what allows you to be yourself. That it's the only way to ensure your happiness. Sorry, but you were wrong. That's not how this works. Sure, an intelligent, pathologically helpful honor student will probably make plenty of friends anywhere they go. You're so useful to have around. Most people probably treated you nicely enough of their own convenience. Or for their own convenience. And when they realized what you were carrying, when you were no longer of any use to them, I guess they abandoned you quickly enough. That sort always will. But how about the people in this school? You think they're the same way?
それは。
Do you really believe Michiru and Makina think of you as nothing but their personal lackey? Do you really believe they'd abandon a friend for failing to carry out a single order?
思いません。
That's right. You've been so afraid of losing something that you couldn't even see what you had. You've been going through life curled up in a shell, both eyes squeezed shut. Sorry. Just checking something quick for myself. In exchange for your brittle happiness, you've lost sight of what's around you. You've lost something you didn't even know you had. That's what I wanted you to realize.
大切なものを守ろうとして何かを失う。
Alrighty, Nick. You have a good rest of your day, buddy. Yeah. You know, human beings may be the smartest animals currently strutting around the earth, but that doesn't mean we're the wisest. No matter how much we learn or how advanced our civilization becomes, we're still complete idiots about the simplest things. When it comes right down to it, we don't realize how precious anything is until we lost it. Or lose it. I might be giving you a pretty pompous lecture right now, but I'm no exception to that rule myself.
じゃあゆうくんにも。
Yeah. There was a reason I couldn't promise to play with you on your birthday. My sister had died in an accident. And with her gone, my family crumbled in on itself like a house of cards. I'm the only one who got through it alive.
私ゆうくんにそんなことがあったなんて全然知りませんでした。
So yeah, he was in the same boat as you, Sachi. Of course you didn't. Never told you.
じゃあもしかしてゆうくんはそのことを私に教えようとして。
Not entirely. I also wanted to learn something about you.
私のことを知る。
Yeah. There was a time when you could have asked me for anything, and all you requested was my praise. That's the one thing I've never really understood. But after hearing your feelings just now, I think I finally found my answer. I turned Sachi toward me and softly rest my hand on her head. It's been a long, lonely road, hasn't it? You did good, Sachi. You really did. Speaking in the gentlest tone of voice I can manage, I affectionately ruffle Sachi's hair. Her eyes open wide as saucers, and in the next moment, fat tears are running down her face. Good job, Sachi. You blew up the school. Pat, pat, pat. Yeah, I'm sure that's what she's gonna want.
私
You were waiting to hear those words, weren't you? Utterly lost, overwhelmed by pain, sadness, and confusion, waiting for someone to show her the way forward. Waiting for someone to see the crushing guilt she carried, to know the punishment she levied on herself every moment of every day, and to tell her, you've done enough.
そうなのかもしれません。私ずっと怖かったんです。テストでいい点を取ってお手伝いもして、そんな私をお父さんとお母さんは偉いねって褒めてくれました。それなのに急にお父さんとお母さんが冷たくなって、大好きだったあの家に機械の音ばかりが響くようになって、最後にはあんなことになって、それは私がわがままだったのがいけなかったんだ、もっといい子でいなければいけなかったんだって。だからもう一度も失敗できない、いい子でい続けなきゃって。
I see. Then I suppose I'm the only one who can tell you this now. You don't have to be a good girl anymore. I understand your feelings. I understand how hard you've tried. But you've done more than enough. You can rest now.
それは本当でしょうか。
Yeah.
本当に私はもういい子でいなくてもいいんでしょうか。
Yeah. It's true. Yes. Let it out. Just let it out. Her 10th birthday. A day that should have been full of happy memories ended in an unimaginable tragedy. Ever since, Sachi's lived a half-life, bound tightly by the irrational guilt of a child. Until this moment. The good girl she never truly was, the role she forced herself to play all this time, evaporates with her tears into the warm night. All this time, she suffered quietly, locking her constant fear and pain somewhere out of sight. Nobody can erase those years, or the mark they've left on her. And nobody can undo the accident that ruined her life. There's one and only one thing I can do for Sachi right now. Hold her shaking body in my arms until her tears run dry. Right. When she's cried her fill, Sachi firmly wipes her cheeks dry and raises her head from its resting place against my chest.
お見苦しいところをお見せしてしまってすみませんでした。
Nothing to worry about. A girl's tear-stained face is a special privilege reserved for her boyfriend. God damn it, dude.
じゃあ私の涙はゆうくんのご褒美に
I did just blow up a school for you, remember? I don't think it's too much to ask. Okay, alright, we're already making jokes? Already making jokes about blowing up the school? Yeah, real smooth, Yuji. Real smooth.
そういえば私たち美浜学園を壊してしまったんですよ。あまりにもびっくりしすぎてなんだかあまり実感がありませんけど。
Yeah, we did. Probably gonna cause Sakaki and company a lot of trouble. Not to mention everyone who works there.
そういえば皆さんは寮は大丈夫なのでしょうか
As she finally realizes the potential for collateral damage involved with our little show, color drains from Sachi's face. Don't worry about them. They're in a safe place.
それならよかったです。
An expression of pure relief spreads across her face. Sachi brings a hand to her chest as if to slow the frantic beating of her heart. It's a simple, earnest gesture, one that speaks volumes about her feelings toward her classmates.
ですが皆さんに迷惑をかけたことに変わりがないとするとここは二人で腹を切ってお詫びするべきでしょうか
No, we're not going to perform seppuku. That would kind of make this whole thing pointless, don't you think?
そういえばそうですね
Feels like it's been an awfully long time since I've had one of these distinctive, pure Sachi moments. That brings me a slight sense of relief. Somehow, it makes me feel like all this wasn't a waste of effort on my part. No, she's got a point.
セーブしますか
I'm gonna save for sure right now. There we go. Alright. Just want to make sure I had a save point. That's so nothing happens, and then suddenly I've got to redo the last 2.5 hours. Tomorrow, which I don't want to redo all that. Well, I can't exactly go put the school back together again, but... Still trying to wake up here. Like I told you before, I spent some time on the planning phase here. And a big part of that was figuring out how to keep the damage and fuss to a minimum.
そういえば、あんなに大きな爆発があったのに、あまり大きな騒ぎになっていないみたいです。
Yeah, I guess we've got to thank Chizuru and JB for that one.
ということは、ハルデラさんや学園長さんはこうなることを知っていたんですか?
If you ever do have something like that happen, you can press the control button and it fast forwards at ridiculous speed. Starting Sachi's route, I did not make a decision early on that would actually unlock my ability to get on her route. So I just went new game, and then I hit the skip button. And was waiting there for like, I think it was like 20 some odd minutes going through the entirety of the common route until I get the choices for Sachi. Just to choose all the, like, yes, help her and do all this. Ugh. That was fun. At least the other ones I'm sitting ready for them. I think it's weird. Why is it that Sachi is the one that is locked off from you if you don't make the correct choices? Like, why? Why is it only Sachi that can get locked off from you, but the others, yeah, sure, just go through it normal. yeah, exactly! Only Sachi has extra choices. Everyone else, you can get on it, no problem. You make the one single choice that's very obvious gonna get you on their route. But Sachi, no, you gotta make 2 extra choices beforehand. I only made 1. Well, Asuka Sachi is best girl, you gotta work for it. Okay. When we entered the principal's office, didn't you notice that most of the books and documents were missing?
はい、全然気づきませんでした。
Well, I guess you had other things to worry about at that time. But in any case, yeah. I got myself in some pretty serious debt to make this happen.
それはどれくらいの借りなんでしょう?
Let's see. Even if I worked the rest of my life for free, I doubt I'd be able to pay this one back. Handled this sort of thing wrong, and there's a possibility I ended up getting disposed of through an accidental death.
そんな、自分がそんなことになるかもしれないのに、ゆうくんはあれだけのことを?
From what I'd seen, this was the only way I'd get through to you. You needed to fail through success. If all I wanted was to get rid of that test, I could have just asked Chizuru.
私にはその選択肢すら浮かびませんでした。
Exactly the reason I had to blow up the school instead. It says it so casually now. Now you see why I had to blow it up. We could have just asked Chizuru, but no, you didn't think of that, so the next logical conclusion was blow up the school. Take that quote out of context. Yeah, now you see why I had to blow it up. God. Sorry, I'm looking at potential lunch options right now. Yeah, as I've seen, usually solutions tend to be on the extreme side. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. This fucking guy. There. Ordered some lunch. Sachi draws a sharp little breath and looks away, a tinge of sadness and guilt in her eyes. You know, Sachi,
はい。
a little while ago, I said you were wrong to think being a good girl would protect your happiness. But to be honest, I can't say your way of thinking was entirely mistaken. As a kid, you struggled desperately to find that answer. It got you back on your feet. You fought hard all this time, living by that belief. And eventually, you found people who understand you and care about you. You found what you were looking for. That's not a way of life you need to be ashamed of. But there's one important thing to keep in mind. You can't allow yourself to lose sight of what you're trying to protect. I've been reading Higurashi on my streams and seeing stuff have a happy conclusion is so weird to me. It's Higurashi, man. It's Higurashi. There's no such thing as a happy conclusion there.
私が守ろうと思ったもの。
Yeah. No one's asking you to change who you are. You're probably gonna keep on being a pretty good kid. And that means people are gonna keep asking you for favors. And that's fine. All you need to do is think over every request individually. Think about what they're asking you and why. Think about whether it's reasonable. Think about the consequences of saying yes, and then accept or decline. No kidding, man. Only read 2 chapters of... yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. Definitely. Definitely not for the faint of heart. I know you're capable of making those decisions for yourself, Sachi. But if your confidence ever wavers, come to me and we'll talk it over together. I'll rack my brains with you until you make up your mind one way or the other.
ふく。
There's not much else I can do, but I'll always be there to listen.
今の言葉を聞いて、私やっとわかりました。
Understand?
はい。ゆうくんが私に出したもう一つの課題。私が海でゆうくんの袖を引っ張ったのはどうしてなのか。その答えです。
Come to think of it, I did ask something like that. And you sometimes you're a hard ass, you're also a little dork. The guy flip-flops. That's for sure. Don't agree with a lot of what he says, especially early on, that misogynistic point of view, but whatever. He's slowly redeeming himself. Slowly. Just a tiny bit.
はい。でも
私にはその答えがわからなくて、結局皆さんに相談に乗っていただくことになりました。
I see. So I guess that would explain the regular meetings Sakaki mentioned the other day.
そして皆さんが言うには、その課題の答えはとても簡単で、私がゆうくんのことを好きになったからだそうなんです。その答えは当たっていたでしょうか？
Why ask me? Probably faster to ask your heart. More hormones, if you're feeling pragmatic. The thing when the VN came out and the views people had back then, yeah, it makes me cringe too at some things he says. Oh yeah, big time. The fact he apparently learned it all from his self-hating master? She hated her own gender enough to say that stuff? I don't know. It's a thing.
私は皆さんが考えたように、もうずっと前からたった一つの気持ちに動かされていたんです。
Love. What makes you think that?
ついさっきまでは全然そんなことなかった。でも今はこうして隣にいるだけでドキドキしてしまいますから。
It's probably part of the women, am I right generation? Oh lord. Blushing an unusually vivid shade of red, Sachi smiles up at me. Among all the expressions I've seen on her face these past few months, I think this might just be the single most natural and happiest. I see.
だから改めて言わせてください。
Pausing briefly, Sachi closes her eyes and takes a deep breath.
私、小峰幸はゆうくんのことが大好きです。ですから、もしよければゆうくんのあなたの彼女でいさせてください。
She speaks her feelings plainly and directly, the smile never leaving her face. It's almost like I'm looking at a memory of the Sachi I knew as a child. There's a slightly enjoyable tickle of embarrassment in my chest. Oh my god, Mochi! Well, seems I managed to win the girl over somehow. But this one gives as good as she gets. I came up with a lot of pretty decent justifications for trying to help her. Repaying the kindness she showed me as a child, discovering the meaning of my master's words, etc., etc. To be honest, it's a lot less complicated than that. I've been slowly but surely falling in love with Sachi for a while now. You want the girl you love to be smiling. When something's making her suffer, you want to get rid of it. That's really all there was to it.
ゆうくん、黙っていられると私とても不安になってしまうのですが。
But your anxious face isn't half bad either.
やっぱりゆうくんは意地悪です。
Don't get sulky. You're gonna have to put up with this sort of thing on a regular basis from now on.
それって
Of course. If my pomposity has finally set off some warning bells, you can withdraw your candidacy before it's too late.
いえ、こちらこそよろしくお願いします。
Breaking into an ear-to-ear grin, she throws herself forward against my chest. Something about the pleasant warmth of her body brings the vague feelings I've been carrying all this time into sharp focus.
私はバカですね。ゆうくんが私を彼女にすると言ってくれたこと、私の代わりにみんなのお願いを聞いてくれたこと、そして今まで私に送ってくれたたくさんの言葉たち、その意味がやっと分かった気がします。
All it took was blowing up a school. By the way, in the unrated version, they just kind of do it right here, just out in the open. I'm kind of not surprised. I mean, hey, blowing up a school is a better turn on. Please no one take that out of context. Kind of spoiler, I guess, but not really. I mean, in the unrated, I'm not going to get it in the rated version. So, that's fine. I'm fine with knowing, okay, here, insert sex scene. That I'm okay with. I don't see the problem. This isn't a race. How long it took you to see what you're missing isn't important. What really matters is how clearly you understand where you went wrong, and how well you make use of that knowledge from now on.
なんだか素敵な言葉です。
Can't take the credit. Quoting someone who helped me find my own way of life. A while ago now.
つまりゆうくんにとってのゆうくんということですね。
Hell's that supposed to mean?
ゆうくんは今も昔も私に道を示してくれましたから。
Yes, our own Yu-kun. Nice to hear. I'll have to take Sachi's word for it, though. I don't remember. I really don't remember doing that much for her. But even if I'm not half the person my master was, I left a mark on Sachi's heart back then. By the way, in the sequels, where you just pass, you do get to see his master. I figured as much. If they're gonna show more of his past, I figured we'd actually see his master. And maybe, in helping her now, I've managed to pay off some small part of the debt of gratitude I owe Asako.
それにゆうくんはいい子でいることも悪くないって言ってく
Not
れ
in
ま
this
した
game,
けど、
sadly.
私はもう今までのようないい子でいられないかもしれません。
Sorry, what does that mean?
ゆうくんが言っていた私が私でいられるということ、それはきっと昔のようにわがままだった自分といい子でいようとする今の自分、その2つを含めた私が本当の私だってことなんですよね。
I see. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
はい。だから今の私はとてもわがままがいっぱい
Okay, yeah, this would definitely be the insert sex scene here. Selfish?
私に大切なことを教えてくれたゆうくんへの感謝の気持ち、そしてそんなゆうくんのことが大好きだという気持ちを伝えたいんです。
They go fuck. They're gonna fuck right that in there. The words are barely out of Sachi's mouth before she brings her face to mine. Just like that, she softly kisses me. Something that makes the sex scene even funnier is that we already know that the girls in the helicopter saw the explosions, so they're obviously looking at Oh my god. They're just a bunch of voyeurs. the first time, I feel the warmth of her lips against mine. A long, gentle kiss, as if to affirm our mutual feelings. As I savor that simple pleasure, I wrap my arms firmly around Sachi, pulling the weight of her body against me. For a long moment, Sachi closes her eyes and focuses entirely on the movement of her lips. When she finally pulls back to draw breath, her mouth leaves mine with palpable reluctance. Oh my god. Survival instincts kick in.
大好きですゆうくん
God damn. Delivery people are just dropping out.
今も昔もそしてこれからも
Yeah. Same to you, kid.
気持ちを伝えた相手が自分と同じ気持ちでいてくれるのはとても嬉しいです
That a fact?
今ならゆうくんがどうしてキスをしようとしなかったのか最後までエッチをしてくれなかったのかその理由もわかる気がしますから
Oh? Let's hear it then.
私が今感じているこの気持ちが大事だったんですね
Nice work, as always.
ありがとうございます
With an amused smile and words of thanks, Sachi offers me a polite little bow. I've heard the same many times before. But now that I fully understand just how much I care about the girl, the sincere gratitude in her voice inspires a wave of happiness that takes me by surprise in its intensity.
だからこの気持ちをこれからも言葉にさせてください今まで伝えられなかった分も全部
Sure do ask a lot, don't you?
覚悟してくださいね私は初恋もゆうくんなんですから
Yeah. I'll strengthen my resolve. So Sachi can smile like this after all. I love you, Sachi. For the first time, I tell her exactly how I feel. And immediately thereafter, I bring my lips to hers. Being loved by someone, and loving them in return. A basic human experience. Normal, healthy emotions, uncomplicated happiness. The sort of thing I thought I'd lost forever a long time ago. But it seems the life I've led wasn't enough to permanently erase that part of me. I finally found it again. Yuji's like one of those crushes you have in high school, and then when you think about it later, like, good lord, what was I thinking?
You know, I totally like bad boys.
Go back's like, Jesus Christ, this dude was a creep. Why'd I ever like him? Savoring the pleasure of our simultaneous physical and emotional connection, we lie there for some time, enjoying the warmth of each other's bodies. Actually, we banged.
セーブしますか
And I am gonna call it there for today, because that's about 3 hours. Oh, I
feel like tomorrow we'll probably finish it off. Potentially. I think we're close. I think we're pretty damn close to the end, and that just feels like a good spot to just kind of end it for today. So, yeah, 10 o'clock tomorrow. We will be back with more Grisaia and potentially finishing Sachi's route, which will be awesome. Good shit as always, man. Loving you watching this. I'm glad you enjoy watching. Enjoy the company. Great, nice little talks about anything. This has been fun. This has been really fun. Oh, come on. Oh my god, I had like 2 delivery drivers cancel on this freaking app. It's like, just bring me pizza. That's all I want. I just want some pizza. Anyway, I gotta flip my laundry, get it drying, and then start prepping for work. And hopefully my lunch, getting closer to dinner, actually shows up before I gotta leave. Bro, the roads are shifting or something? Huh? The roads? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's like one guy says like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Then it's like, oh, sorry, we're finding you a new driver. And then a few minutes later, oops, finding you a new driver. I don't get it, but hopefully it shows up. Anyway, thanks everybody for... Oh, they found one. Hallelujah. I don't know. But they got somebody this time. So hopefully everything goes well from there. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching, commenting, and lurking. I hope you all have yourselves a great rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. for more Fruit of Grisaia. So, have a good one. I'll see you next time.